It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.
Hey guys, welcome back to my shop, my channel, whatever you want to call it. I'm Bruce, of course. I know it's weird. 2 days I've done 4 resin videos and 1 silly video. I wasn't going to do a video today, but then I'm working on my shop. I work down here all day, making stuff for my eBay store, and I had someone send me a message. They want something I haven't made in about 2 years, and the product I haven't made in about 2 years is this little guy here. Let's give you a better picture of him. It's this little red guy here. It's based on a blue snaggletooth, but somebody wanted the red one when I had this, and I used to sell this in my eBay store about 3 years ago maybe. And I quit selling it because, well, I went back to work and I was, doing the chef thing for a while. I just didn't have time to do the hand painting thing, so I quit making them. I took them out of the store. But I had a guy tonight ask me, and I'm like, there's no reason I can't make one. Of course, the mold. It's been a while since somebody text messaged me while I'm making a video, but there it was. Anyway, so I'm going to make this one. But here's what the video is about. The mold I had for this guy it's long gone. It was a silicone mold. This was white resin, the 10-minute resin that dries real quick. Couldn't use my own reusable molding compound, which if you're following along, you can look at my previous videos to see about that. This was made in white resin, and it was made with a silicone mold similar to this one. This isn't the same, but it's basically what I use when I have to work with white resin. Now, if you buy, this is Umu 30, Umu 20, it's one of the Umus. I switch around depending on what's on sale. If you know about this, then you know that once you make your mold's made, period. There's no going back. There's no reusing it or no remolding it. You reuse it, of course. You can make copy after copy of whatever you mold. You can cast whatever. But you also know to make one about this size, probably about, I'm guessing about $25 last time I figured it out. It might even be more expensive now. So, with that said, I was going to make a new mold, but then I remembered I had this old mold here. And this is something I made about 3 years ago when I was messing around with 2-part molds. And you see this opens up like a book, which I've explained in other videos. So I'm going to go quickly through that. The problem is, and let me switch views. All right, here's the mold I'm talking about. I made this 2-3 years ago. I only used it twice. I tried to get 2 figures out of it. I didn't have enough molding at the time I needed to make 2 separate molds. I didn't have enough molding compound, so I thought I'd hurry it along, and I just put them both in a flat 2-part mold. And here, I'll open it up for you. You can see here's the 2 figures laying. The problem, and it sounded good in my mind, but the problem with it was just completely poorly engineered on my part. What ended up happening is both figures came out terrible. There was so many places that the air bubbles hid, and with 10-minute resin, it's not even worth putting in a vacuum chamber. And if I would have put it in a vacuum chamber or a pressure pot, it wouldn't have helped in this particular circumstance. So I just put the mold in the drawer, and it sat there for the past 2-3 years. But yesterday, I did a video about I'm trying to put this back together the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, there we go. Yesterday I did a video on how to do a hollow mold. And I made a little Death Star. This is what I made, actually. It's right here. This is what I made. I haven't painted it yet. But, and that was a mold where, if you look back at the video, it's the one right before this one, I think. Or is that the funny one? I don't know. It's 1 or 2 before this one. And I show you how to make this. It's hollow inside, but I sat there and I spun it like this, for about 10 minutes until the resin dried. Then it came out beautiful. There's no air bubbles on the outside. I'm going to paint this. It's going to be a Christmas ornament for somebody. But I started thinking, I'm like, all right, with the air bubble problem I had in this guy, why couldn't I use the same principle, spin it around, and maybe that would take care of the garbage that this was producing in the first place, and I won't have to make a new mold at all to make this little guy here for one of my eBay customers. So that's what we're going to try tonight. And I'm trying not to be long-winded. I'm going to skip through a lot because I'm assuming if you're watching these videos, you know how to mix resin. What we're using today is the Fast Cast 10-minute white resin. It dries about 10-15 minutes. You should be familiar with it if you're this far along in my videos. I don't want to drag things out, but I still end up dragging things out because I talk a lot. Okay, let's get going. I have my mold setting out right here. I got it on a piece of, well, I just grabbed a piece of scrap foam board for the bottom so I could be able to pick it up. And then I cut myself a piece of cardboard to put on top of it after I get it filled. And then what I'm hoping to do is just spin it around, work those air bubbles out, and I'm hoping to get the same results as I did with this guy. And pass or fail, I'm going to make the video. So right now, I don't know what's going to happen. That's why I'm a little anxious. I'm like, I think I got a good idea, and I can save some money reusing a mold that I almost threw away. So, let's give it a try. All right, let's see what happens. So I've got both my parts of resin measured out here, part A and part B, and I got my little plastic cup that we're going to mix it in. Let's go ahead and mix that. There's number one, or part A. There's part B. I'm not messing with any coloring or anything. I just want to see if this idea works. Hey, worst case scenario, I just wasted 2 ounces of resin, which is a lot cheaper than, well, this mold probably costs about $30. It's about 1.5 times the normal mold that I usually make. I don't know. So mix. Let's skip through this for about 30 seconds. It's been 30 seconds exactly. I could feel my cup starting to warm up, so I have to work kind of quickly because I only have 10 minutes with this before it starts. Actually, less than 10 minutes. Probably have about 2 minutes before it starts to solidify and become like gum. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it in these fill holes that I have made. And you can see I have my vents there. I probably should have pointed that out earlier. So we're going to put this one in the one figure. I don't know if I have enough to do both or not. Yeah, it looks like I will. I'm going to fill up both of these. And like I said, this is a bad mold. It's just a flat out bad mold. I used it twice before and the figure just come out terrible. There's so many places to trap the resin. I might not have poured enough resin for both of these, but we're going to find out. This is just to check a principle to see if it works. I feel like this might be a fail video, but we're going to find out. So what I figured I'd do is I'd take another piece of cardboard. I'm going to put it right on top of that. I'm going to push down gently. And just like the hollow mold we made, first I'm going to shake it. I'm going to get that resin everywhere that I want it to be. And I'm going to do this for a few minutes. I don't think I have to do it for the entire 10 minutes. I just want that resin to make sure it covers everything. And what I think at the worst case scenario, well, unless it doesn't work at all, but the worst, I should really have gloves on now. I got stuff on my hands, but oh well. I'm already in for a pound, in for a penny, whatever that old saying is. But I'm just going to keep it moving. And where did that cup? Oh, I threw my cup away. I never throw my cup away. You can tell I'm really excited to see if this works. I usually keep a cup here, and when it starts getting hard, I know to stop. And but we don't have the cup. So anyway, I'm just going to keep doing this for a few minutes. Let's fast forward through. That's 5 minutes of me twisting it like you saw me doing. I fast forwarded through it, obviously. And I can see the resin is starting to get gummy and turning white. So there's really no place else that the resin's going to go. It's pretty much stuck where it's going to be. I'm going to give it another 5 or 10 minutes myself. Go take a break. Put the dog out, whatever. And then we'll be right back to see what happened. So I took a little break. I got something to eat. And I don't know how long it's been. Maybe 15 minutes. I don't know. Had to wash my hands too. I don't know if you saw through the fast forward or not. I put gloves on. It was a little too late. The resin got on my hands and it was really irritating me. So I went and washed my hands real quick and we're going to start over with fresh gloves. Yeah, wear gloves. Just saying. Wear your glovies. Okay, hey, let's open this puppy up and see what we got. So, I always like to open it from where the vent hole is, or not the vent hole, the pour hole, because the pour hole is usually the biggest sticker. I'm going to push down on this one because there's two figures in here. Push down on that, push down on this. Oh, it's coming up nice. Here we go. Like I said, I had really bad luck with this mold the last time I used it, and okay, I can tell already. These are the vent holes. You see these things sticking up. If they're showing up on camera, I can never tell. Right, here's one, here's one. They're all over the place. That's how I tried to vent it as best I could when I first made the mold. And it still wasn't good enough because I was getting a huge air bubble here in the back of this one and in the back of this one right here. Well, there's no air bubble there, so maybe my technique worked. Let's get them the rest of their way out. This is the one I need to make. Gently, gently, gently. Because I'm trying not to ruin the mold, because if this works, I can make more. Kind of spoil myself with my reusable molding, because usually I just tear them out because I always make a fresh mold, but this stuff is expensive. Okay, here's the first one, and okay. Wow. I think it actually worked. I don't see any defects in it. Everything's filled. There's no big holes in it like there used to be. Let's get the other one out. Looks like I did actually have enough resin to do both of them, which is, so I got a bonus figure. Yay, bonus figure. Take this puppy out. That's another thing I did when I took a little break. Took my puppy out. Oh, here we go, here we go. Nice, gently. Okay, mold's nice and clean. This figure. You see all the flash around there. That's because I didn't put, usually I would put rubber bands around them to hold it together so I wouldn't get this, but because of what we were doing, and I was a little anxious, I didn't put the rubber bands around it. But all this stuff will come off, but what I'm looking for is big air bubbles. Here, let me give you guys a look. Here's where the air bubbles would be on the back. It's, in my opinion, it's not a good idea to make figures in a prone position in a mold. They don't come out. At least they never have for me until today. I'm happy with these so far. I'm going to get them trimmed up. I'm going to trim all this crap off, and let's see what we finally got. All right, I'm going to go trim. I'll be right back. I'm back. I took these outside. I have a little workbench out there because when you're using, I use a Dremel tool to trim these down to get the flashing off and everything like that, and an X-Acto knife, you know, whatever you got to do. But when you use a Dremel tool on this kind of resin, it gets powder everywhere. So I just go ahead and do it outside. I set myself a little workshop up on my back porch, and okay. With that said, these came out so good. I'm thrilled that my idea worked. They're not completely perfect. There is one little air bubble right here where my pointer is. I don't know if it's showing up or not. But honestly, just a drop of resin in there will fill it. Not like what I was getting before, where the entire back right here just had nothing. It was a giant air bubble. On this guy here too, they're upside down. I'm satisfied with it. I could have ground this down a little better. That's not a bubble. That is a, yeah, it is showing up on camera. That's not a bubble. That's actually a burr. I can take care of that with the Dremel tool. This guy actually, and there is a bubble right here because the collar in this figure has always been hard to get, but it's in the back, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I totally saved that mold, and I don't have to make a new one to do this. I think that's pretty cool. Like I said, I have ideas all the time. Sometimes they fail, sometimes they work. This idea actually worked, and it's all because I did that hollow mold the other day. When it comes to this hobby, I mean, you know, I'm not an expert at it. You know, there's some people I've talked to that have gone to school for it, you know, art school and stuff like that, and they're telling me I'm doing stuff wrong, and you know, maybe I am according to the actual technical way that they do it. But I got a philosophy: whatever works, works. And this Mickey Mouse technique I just used worked perfectly fine for me. And my channel isn't geared toward people that do this for a living or all the time. It's geared toward people that just the hobbyists, the ones that want to mess around and make some stuff for Christmas or holidays, or just mess around. Normal people like us, so we want to save some money, do it as cheaply as possible, and get some outcome. A hobby. It's a hobby. And I enjoy doing it. I still enjoy doing it to this day. I've been doing a lot more videos lately because I quit my job, to be honest with you, because I tried to retire once and they kept dragging me back into the chef world. I don't want to be in the chef world anymore. I do work part-time somewhere else, but I don't have to work anymore. So I really enjoyed doing this. It makes me happy. If you guys can probably tell when I'm talking about it in my videos, I'm a lot happier when I'm talking about this and I'm talking about other things. Anyway, that's it. I'm psyched. I saved this mold. I can probably get a bunch of more uses out of this mold. Like I said, this is only the third set of figures I've taken out of this mold. The first two were failures, and I threw it in the bin and left it there for about 2-3 years. And because I made this guy the other night, and it gave me the idea. It's like, I call it what-ifying. What if I do what we did today? And boom, it worked. I can't believe I didn't think of that earlier. But anyway, I hope this video helps you guys, you crafters and stuff, and hobbyists, and maybe even someone that knows more than I do. I hope it taught you something tonight. And, that's what I do. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. More videos to come. Like I said, I'm back into this now. My eBay store is still up and running. Jenner Custom Toys on eBay. I hate plugging myself, but I have to because it's what I do. Otherwise, this whole room's going to be full of stuff I made. So, buy my stuff. All right, guys. Hey, I'll catch you next time. Thanks for taking time to watch my video. Appreciate it. Bye.
It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.